So just very briefly, in terms of introducing the Marketplace Literacy program, really our goal is to empower low-income individuals, the broad range of low-income individuals and communities, by enabling consumer literacy, entrepreneurial literacy, and sustainability literacy. But the key things about our approach is that we focus on the bottom up. In other words, we don't cover textbook concepts. We take people's experiences as they are and then build up or stitch up from there in terms of what we would like them to understand. And secondly, we focus on the know why. So more than 20 years ago, the gap that I saw was there were quite a few programs for people about what to buy or sell, or even how to keep accounts, etc. But I could not find programs that focused on the why. And this is perfectly aligned with what my own research on what I ended up calling subsistence marketplaces was unpacking as well. So this is really kind of an intuitive educational emphasis and program we started out while we were beginning our research as well. But those two aspects are important to keep in mind. So the key aspects here are marketplace receipts about knowledge and skills to enable participation both as consumers and entrepreneurs. It is different from consumer education in that it is aimed at people with less literacy than typically somebody who's focused on personal finance, etc. It is also focused more on the consumer in the marketplace. And it doesn't stop there. It also looks at the other side of the entrepreneurs and the larger marketplace. And by doing that, we provide a deeper understanding. And so that's what I wanted to emphasize over here. It also includes sustainability literacy. Now, we have been very almost pedantic, I don't know if the word, but we have documented a lot, whether it's books or manuals or script manuals. Even now we have all the scripts and everything that we do, we like to document in a form that is easy to share. And so I wanted to mention that. And to be honest, this is really a socially embedded functional literacy in the marketplace. It is not basic literacy. It emphasizes the know why, as I mentioned earlier as well. If you asked us for a slogan for our approach, I would say it is concretize, localize, and socialize the educational content and its delivery. And by socialize, I mean the fact that even if you're low literate and low income, you probably have better social relations than somebody like me. And as a result, use that ability of people to relate to others, in order to move the program forward. And so we use a variety of means as well. We've been very fortunate. This is education. It is not training. This is not about training somebody how to use pesticide or something like that. It is the deeper understanding, but we've been very fortunate in our reach, and I hope meaningful reach across 4 continents, particularly in South India. In Tanzania, we worked in the entire Arusha region, working with Mr. Kupaza and Oikos, and we've reached more than 10,000 tribal women in remote contexts as well. We worked in Mexico, we work in Honduras, we worked in a refugee settlement in Uganda, we worked in Argentina, we worked in the US. In the state of Illinois, both urban and rural. So that has been our reach, and that's been our experience as well in the way we've gone about it. Just to give you some examples, we have innovated not only in the content, but also in the delivery. So the way we scaled in the state of Tamil Nadu and South India was by working with a very large microfinancing organization where they wanted to create a movie, and we took the script. They generously allowed us to embed into the script a variety of different issues and interactions. And then we created 14 video-based lessons with the teacher on the screen, clips from movie for review, even examples of groups working and presenting back about their projects. And we formed groups within, say a cohort of 20 to 25 women who worked on, very simple business plans and so on. And that's how we scaled, because we were able to use low-skilled facilitators to conduct these programs. And that was a very key part. Now, when we say reach, what does it mean? It means right away self-confidence, sometimes to take over buying from one's husband. It means savings as customers. It means not buying defective products. And those are immediate yields or immediate benefits because as customers, they continue to learn. And then some people start or expand an enterprise. In Tanzania, we found the highest percentages because of how extreme the poverty is. But typically, if I were to estimate, I would say our impact on people as customers is near universal. And I say that after much skepticism and looking at what we've done so far, um, particularly in terms of the consumer savings, and those can really add up. And then they continue to learn how to learn because they understood the why of the marketplace. And as entrepreneurs, I would say I've seen anything from 10, 20% of the women start or expand an enterprise in say Mexico or in India, but much more in Tanzania. And there again, our goal is not to tell people they need to start an enterprise. That's not that's really for them to decide. And that's part of the know why as well, given all the responsibilities that women have and so on. So these are examples of our work. You can see our work in Illinois, led by Ron. You can see our work in Tanzania, which was led by Copasa. You see our work in Latin America, and particularly this one is in Mexico, led by a number of people from Mexico. But also Luis who's in the call, has been a big part of this as well. We have now during the pandemic regrouped, and really it was a dilemma because what did we do? We brought people together, young women, young men, women in general, and so on. So the dilemma was, what do we do now? And one of the things we thought was this idea of a narrated image diary. And those have images, they have a narration, they are low bandwidth, they are again bottom up and know why. So a set of 4 or 5 clips can lead to an understanding of why should I seek value as a customer. It can lead to an understanding of what's the most important thing in a business. It can lead to an understanding of why should I choose this business? Why not some other business and so on? And that seems to have got quite a bit of traction in the sense that what's happened is that we are able to customize images for Africa, for Latin America, for South Asia, for the US. We have a separate youth marketplace literacy for the US. And we are able to also bring in the kind of narration we want. And that's the one area we use AI. We do not use AI for images. I'm not a fan of average images. We like real images, but we use AI. For example, there is a Hindi version where my voice was cloned a little bit, and then we use AI. We are also working on other modalities, animations led by Lulu. We have doodle videos led by Luis. We have video scribes led by Malam. So we are also creating other modalities for the basic content. The basic content is a few modules on marketplace literacy, but of late for youth, we've also created about 34 clips on different vocations. And these also are bottom up and focus on no whys. For example, they go through with what does a nurse do? What does it take to be a nurse? And then what is your purpose? What is your proficiency? What is your passion when you compare it to what it takes? What will you give? What will you get in terms of value in aspiring to be a nurse or to be somebody else? So we feel like with youth being entrepreneurial in a broader sense and going from point A to point B, and thinking about your own aspirations are important elements as well. These are our playlists, and we're going to find a simple way to share them one at a time during the call so that we give you about 10-15 minutes just to skim and then get a sense of what's there. And so we will, as you can see, that more and more there's more and more content coming, and but again we have narrowed down a few that we would like you to take a look at. There has been tremendous academic grounding on this. I've been very fortunate with the research on subsistence marketplaces, and so we have even done anything from pre and post surveys to qualitative assessment to ability tests to actually doing randomized control trials where we have shown how marketplace, let's see, a 4-hour program, and Kupasa, Lulu, and Malam are part of that, could lead to entrepreneurial startups in a matter of 3 weeks. We've shown how it improves personal well-being, consumer self-confidence, consumer decision-making, entrepreneurial intention, and so on. So we've used rigorous ways to show this. And so we certainly view this as what I call symbiotic academic social enterprise, research, social enterprise, and then teaching and education as well, where we have reached about more than 10,000 students in the last 15 years with education. So in a sense, our story is that we went out to a very different context of subsistence marketplaces to learn about them through research, created education for communities through marketplace literacy, and created education for our students and executives through our learning experiences. And so those are some of the things I wanted to mention. I think we everything we do is open source. Everything we do is bottom up. We don't assume we have a hammer and therefore here's a new entity and this is what we want to do with them and so on. We really believe in learning first bottom up, but I will also say over time, it's been more than 21 years now, we've also gathered some general top down knowledge which we are able to also see as being relevant as we go from one context to another. So these are some of the things we wanted to share. I think I will just stop at this point and just make note of one thing. It's best to view us as ingredients. It's best to view us as ingredients in your work, and that's the way I would say it, rather than us having a program. Because I think the word program then makes it a bit too top down. Here are some of the ingredients, and we have a very good team, and we want to be a resource. The only relationship we want is to be a resource. We are not looking for monetary links. We are happy to work with our partners, and in if it helps in creating some opportunities that fund their own programs. But we are not looking for monetary relationships. We are looking to be a resource. Um, we have had a very high success when we have actually, been part of some of these grant making opportunities with Oikos. We were very honored. That led to a European Union grant with Ron and University of Illinois Cooperative Extension. We were ranked first out of about 70 projects and so on.